What's up, y'all? My name is Zelly. I am the creator of the upcoming brand known as Third Rock Clothing, and I'm going to tell you how I designed my logo. Quick little backstory. If you want a lore video, comment FADE in the comments. Speaking of that, I'm also going to tell you, why not? We're here. So, fuck it. FADE means fuck all dick eaters, okay? And originally on the original designs and concepts for the back in 2023, end of 2023, early 2024, that's when the brand was beginning to be created. If that's the best way I can put it. It was originally going to be Deaf to Dick Eaters, DTDE. And that also kind of played into my mindset at the time. I felt like the world was against me, and that wasn't the case. I was simply growing up, and I had too much on my plate than I knew how to process. I was emotionally unregulated at the time. A lot of dark shit was happening with my friends. People were almost losing their lives. There was so much going on, and I didn't know how to process. And I thought I had a really good grasp of my emotions at the time. And I was just trying to let it bleed onto whatever last bit of creativity I felt like I had. And as I've continued with this process of making this brand and trying to curate this entity that it's now turning into, I think I simply grew up a little, man. At the time, it was the end of 2023. I was turning 2024, really. I was turning 24, around that time, and I'm about to be 26.
Damn!
That sounds gross. I'm about to be 26 now. This brand was actually supposed to release in the beginning of 2024. I thought I would have been able to do it. Clearly, it didn't fucking work. And now we're here, but we're here nonetheless. And I want to tell you how I made this logo. I want to tell you how I made my baby. I made the 3 Arcade Spider-Man. So I wanted to make something that really just looked cool to me. And like I said, I just wanted to let every bit of creativity I felt like I had left at the moment bleed on to whatever I was doing. And all I was doing was this. And I wanted to tie in everything I liked because this was like my one last Hail Mary, if that makes sense. Like, I was like, I'm gonna try this content stuff again, see if I can have fun with it one more time. But I want to do something different. I was reselling clothes, and let's get back to the topic at hand. Fuck. But anyways, when I designed the logo, man, I was really just trying to make a culmination of, just the whole thing. Yeah, I was really trying to just combine everything I liked into this in one go and see if I could do it. And I went to the store. I went to Dollar Tree, and I got this cheap ass little notebook sketch pad, and I just started sketching. I felt like Spider-Man. I really did, when he was trying to design his first costume, and I was just sketching logo after logo. I wanted to incorporate the 3, the R, and the K. And oddly enough, 3 Arcade, the name itself was created before the acronym. Before it was an acronym, I was just going to call it 3 Arcade, but it ended up being Third Route Clothing. So that was really cool of a process, but I really like the name 3 Arcade. That just sounds like that's us, man. It's 3 Arcade. And when I designed it, this is the first interpretation of it. This is the same piece of paper. You can see it's all fucked up now, but because I literally just snatched it off the wall. I have so much stuff pinned on this wall that's not in frame, but this little picture right here is the original logo right here. And I didn't like it. I felt like it was missing something. I wanted it to look like a cross between a Spider-Man symbol. I was big on symmetry. I felt like Death the Kid. I was big on symmetry. I was like, I want it to be symmetrical. I want it to be cool. I want it to be symmetrical. And that just didn't scream it. Like, it was there. Like, the bones were there. And like I said, I was just letting everything bleed onto the paper. And when it was made, my younger brother, he was like, yo, me and him were, this is around the time me and my younger brother just started getting a lot closer, y'all. Right before he went to the army. And I just started like having like, I guess you could say flashbacks or just reminiscing on the times we had when we were kids, when shit was just simpler. And me and my brothers loved wrestling. If you are a black boy, if you are an African American kid in the early 2000s, your favorite wrestler, I don't give a fuck if you're lying. It was Jeff Hardy. I thought Jeff Hardy was the coolest dude. He's the reason I was swanton bombing my brothers. He's the reason me and my brothers broke my mother's sofa set. Like, I jumped off swanton bombing both of my brothers. We broke her fucking couch. And I wanted, his logo looked so cool to me. And back in the day when they first opened up the WWE shop, he dropped a pendant, and it was he had this pendant, and I couldn't get it. I remember like us going to TNA, seeing Jeff Hardy. Like, we saw him, I saw him do a swanton bomb live. That memory's embedded in my fucking skull. And my mom used to get bootleg DVDs, y'all. We had the I Quit match between him and Matt Hardy, where he tied Matt to the fucking table. And he was like, "You're my brother. I quit. I quit." He said it. Fuck all that, popped it, and then just jumped off the fucking ladder.
And Jeff Hardy did not accept.
I thought it was the coolest shit. We ran it back over and over, over and over again. Like, we loved that DVD. And I was like, okay, it has to look something like that. The symmetry. Once again, there was the symmetry there. And I'm a big fan of the Fate series. I wanted to kind of look like a command seal, because I was like, if I'm gonna make a logo, I want to be, and I decided to get my logo tatted. I wanted to look cold, and I thought command seals and Fate looked so cold, and I'm eventually gonna get the logo tatted on my hand. And that's when it all just started like clicking. It just all started clicking, and this was born right there. That logo was born right there. And even now, it still had some minor tweaks, but it was there. And I just remember that it was like a euphoric feeling, because I was in a really overall dark place, and that's a video for another time. It felt like I still had it, if that makes sense. And I have this kind of ideology when when an idea really clicks for me, it's kind of like a snowball effect. It just all piles on top of that. It just goes. And after that, it was just whoosh, like an avalanche of ideas just rushed over me. And I knew in that moment, I have something here. This brand has something. And that's where the logo came from. It's not a super long explanation without trying to give too much, because I have another video I want to record to give the rest of the lore to this brand. But that's how the logo was made, man. And I hope you guys rep it when these clothes release. I hope you tell your friends about it. And I can't wait to see y'all in the next video. Peace.